All right, we're going to get started. Thanks everyone for coming. My name is Dr. Melanie Buttle, and I'm the principal of Peter Zosky College. You are at Intro to Undergrad. If you are in the sciences, we switched sciences over to Wenjack Theatre, so if you're biochem physics land, you can go over to Wenjack if you want. You will get similar content in all of these sessions, so it's okay, honestly, it's okay. But this one is for social science students. So, what we're doing today is we have short presentations from our academic skills instructors, academic advising, and career space team. And our goal here is to talk a little bit about what you can expect at university, what your major will kind of look like, strategies to think about your time at Trent, and then a little bit about what you can do with your degree after, which I know you're not there yet, but it's really good to have a little bit of a sense of how careers connects to your world. I'm just going to let everybody file in.
Top of the Wenjack.
Yeah, these are all the people that were at Wenjack, I bet, right?
Where's the lake?
Oh, good. All good. And one of the reasons we do this event is because orientation it serves many purposes, right? It's partly social, meeting new people, finding your way around on campus, getting that sort of, whoa, this is going to be a great year of fun, but also we know you're thinking about classes and we know you're getting ready for your academic journey, and we want to make sure you're prepared for both. So I'm really impressed that you're all here thinking about your classes, which start on Thursday. Good job. Some people don't know that, so that's great. Welcome everyone, thanks for coming. All right, so I'm going to start with a land acknowledgement, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about what's in the social sciences, and then I'll be introducing Susan. So we respectfully acknowledge that we are on the treaty and traditional territory of the Mississauga Anishinaabe. We offer our gratitude to the First Nations for their care for and teachings about our earth and our relations, and may we honor those teachings. I grew up in this area on Mississauga land, Anishinaabe territory. We did not do land acknowledgements when I was a young person here. I'm really glad we do them now. Has anyone gone to any of the teepee visits today? Some of you? It's really worth it to go check out the teepee. I think they're doing teepee visits throughout the afternoon, if I'm not mistaken. In Zosky College, we also take a weekly trip to the teepee to get you comfortable with the space and to recognize that the teepee space is there some days of the week for everyone to visit. So I hope you'll take advantage of that and learn a little bit more. The other thing I'll say about land acknowledgements and First Nations in this area is that the Curve Lake Powwow happens on the weekend of September 17th, 18th. We have 4 buses booked, free admission, free bus ride to go to the Curve Lake Powwow, which is about 40 minutes from here. Has anyone been to a powwow before? Excellent, that's pretty good. If you haven't been, it's quite an amazing experience, and I encourage you to come. So there are sign-ups on the Trent events calendar if you want to do. So that's my plug for all the colleges who are supporting the powwow, so I hope you'll go. So social sciences. Susan's going to swap the...
I have to use the platform.
I know, I'm sorry. So what is an undergrad? What are social sciences? So hopefully you kind of have an idea that what we call your undergrad is the 3 or 4 year degree you do right after high school. Not necessarily, if you're a mature student, you maybe don't do it right after high school, but it is your first undergrad Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science degree at university. If you are doing a post-grad or a graduate degree, you're looking at master's, PhD, not required. Some people do that, some people don't. You don't have to make those decisions yet. Social sciences are these disciplines listed on this slide, but social sciences broadly, the study of society and relationships of individuals, both positivist, empirical, and constructivist interpretive. We're going to talk about all those words in a minute. So, you're not? So you may be a joint major. If you're a joint major, you could be in something that's an arts with a science. You could be in something that's a science with a social science. It's just a broad way to kind of give, I guess, broad categories of your degree. As I said a minute ago, there's really no wrong thing here because our fine staff here are going to talk about all the things you can do with all of your degrees. But if you're in a joint major or a major minor that are from, maybe your joint major is not on this list, it's okay. You'll have some different skill sets and some different styles in your classrooms, but you will benefit from all of these sessions. after we hear from our professional staff on campus, we have a faculty panel who are going to talk to you a little bit about their classes. They're all teaching first-year classes, Indigenous Studies, Sociology, and Indigenous Environmental, and they're going to share a little bit about what you can expect from a first-year class in general. So I think with that, I'm going to turn it over to Susan Thompson, who is our academic skills instructor housed in Champlain College, but available for all students in all colleges, as all of our support staff are. So Susan's going to tell you a little bit about the Slido first, and then get us started. Susan.
Hi everyone. So I think I have a big enough voice to speak to the people at the back. Can you hear me okay? Yeah. So I'm Susan Thompson, and I work in Champlain College as the academic skills instructor. So I hope to see some of you there through the term, but we'll talk more about that shortly. First of all, we have a Slido. If you have your devices with you, your phones, or I think you can do it on a laptop, you just need to go to slido.com and then enter this code, or you can scan that QR code if your phones are magical enough to reach that far.
Yeah.
Good. I'm going to grab my phone too, because there's a way for me to monitor. Well, my phone's somewhere. Okay, anyway, it doesn't matter right now. But there's a Q&A thing on there where you can ask questions, and then I can kind of monitor the questions. If you have any questions while we're speaking, but I need my phone to do that. I'll find it. Okay, so we're good. We're on the Slido. We can go to the next slide. It's probably in my purse. You know what? I checked it. Oh, we did this.
We're also small enough that I don't want any of you to feel like you can't pop your hand up and ask a question.
That's
that is
true.
the Trent way, so don't feel like you have to only device
You know
it.
what? Let's forget about Slido. Let's just ask real questions in real time with your hands up.
Yeah, so do this for you.
Yeah. So okay, here's a poll for you. Does it show up? Excellent. I can see it's moving. Excellent. So what do you want to get out of your university education? Choose all that apply. Give you a couple of minutes. Yeah. All right, so I'm seeing a satisfying and meaningful career, flipping back and forth between personal development, which are closely related, right? Learning new knowledge and skills is coming in there close third, so I think those three are pretty much tied. And then, of course, developing, it moves, so I can't read it, my own voice, vision, and making an impact. Establishing great relationships. Whether you put that as a priority or not, you're going to do that, so that's all good. Yeah, so this is great. Personal development, learning new knowledge and skills, and finding a meaningful, satisfying career. So let's check back in 4 years, see if we've been able to do that. Thinking about your degree, your classes, or your career goals, what are you unsure or uneasy about? And I think, is this one where you just type a word into the poll? Right, give us some, I think it might create a word cloud, perhaps. I'm afraid to press the next button. Oh, shoot.
Getting to class.
Getting to class, time management. Whoa, oh, wow. Oh, isn't this cool how it does it?
I love Slido, it's so cool.
Big one for time management, workload, exams, falling behind, note-taking, getting to class, keeping up with an average, stress. Yeah, so none of this comes as a surprise to any of us here. Especially at this time of year, time management for sure is one that we're all concerned about. How are we gonna do 5 classes? Maybe a part-time job, maybe, some extracurriculars, kids at home. Yep, absolutely, whatever it is. So stress, exams, time management, workload. And so all academic skills can help with all of these things. So we'll get to that on our slides. So that was a big word, a big slide of a lot of heavy kind of feelings, right? Stress and anxiety, how am I gonna stay on top of everything? what we like to stress at Academic Skills is you're coming here already with a toolkit of great skills and great abilities. And so think about, just times in your past when you have adapted and you have changed, when difficult circumstances have been presented to you, right? And so just know that you can handle this. It's not something that you can't handle. And second of all, if it gets to a point where you feel like maybe I need a little extra support here, learn about all the services and the tools that are trying to support you through this transition, okay? Because there are so many here, and I know you're going to all of these presentations, and your OLE leaders, and will tell you all about who is here to help you. Okay, so let's move to the knowledge and skills portion. I feel like I can't read the slide. I may have to stand over here. Maybe I have to use this little thing. Hello, on top. Yeah, it's kind of hard to read when you're right close up. So, how to thrive in the social sciences? Okay. So, social sciences tend to focus on understanding human experiences and problems. Okay. So, how do we understand these experiences and problems that we see out there in the world? We do it through these new languages that we're going to learn, new knowledge that we're going to learn. And so we're going to learn new languages. And that's going to be key to your success, is learning the languages of your discipline. Okay? And these are all going to come to you in your lectures, and maybe some of the profs that are here today are going to talk about some of these. Understanding these foundational theories that are like lenses through which we view these problems, right? I see this problem from this lens, or this lens, right? Also in the social sciences, cultivating your inner skeptic, asking questions, right? Being a little bit more critical around, why is it like this? That was that constructive, positive, all those big words at the beginning. I don't want to play around with those big words right now. But asking questions. Why is it this way? Should it be this way? Could it be different, right? That's all part of the social sciences, is kind of that inner skeptic. And becoming aware of all of those social structures and norms and rules, institutions, organizations that are around you, that you're living in right here at Kent University, that shape your lives, right? And they help you kind of, when we cultivate your observation skills, be this, don't just be an observer, but be an active observer of what's going on. Why do we have us sitting like this in this place? Why is Susan up there at the front talking to us? Does she have any, does she actually know what she's talking about? I mean, these are all great things that social scientists and people in the social sciences kind of question all the time. Collect data about things and analyze. So those are some of my sort of thoughts on how you can sort of thrive and survive in the social sciences. So back to that skill piece as well, like more kind of hard skills. Common assessments in the social sciences. And these are things that students come to Academic Skills all the time. They'll say, listen, I've written an essay before, but maybe not an argumentative essay, or I have to develop a thesis, or select a topic, narrow my topic, create a focus, have a thesis, and come up with all of these arguments to support my thesis, right? Maybe the research papers are asking you to look for a little bit more in-depth sources, and I can't just go to the public library anymore, although we probably can still find some good stuff there. But now I have to search these massive databases and come up with keywords and really focus my search. Academic Skills can help with a lot of things. If you're in business, case studies, problem solving is a big part of case studies in business. If anyone's here from business. Anyway, so we can help if you come across an assignment or an assessment that you're just not that familiar with. Come and talk to somebody at Academic Skills. Again, there's a lot of reading in university, and particularly in the social sciences. And remember when I talked about those foundational theories, they can be heavy and like full of those big words, and but they stay with you. Once you figure them out, like you learn something. I don't know, back in the day it was Weber, Durkheim, Karl Marx, like a lot of Foucault, all these people, and sometimes, oh my gosh, it was hard to understand them, but it really persevered, and then I'm like, wow, these guys are so smart. But there's a lot of reading, maybe 3 to 4 hours a week in each course that you're taking. right? And you're reading all different types of materials, textbook, articles, empirical studies, all of this stuff, right? So if you're finding that it's taking you a long time to do your reading in your courses, come and talk to us at Academic Skills, because we can actually talk to you about a process, a 3-part process for reading that can help you read more efficiently, okay? So it involves kind of skimming, reading for understanding, reading critically, and reflecting on what you've read. So trying to find just the most important information. And we can help you figure out how to find that, because there's a formula to writing, which is what you're actually reading, right? How to thrive in the social sciences. We think also it's really important throughout the term. This kind of ties in with that time management piece that you're all concerned about. Really important to review on a regular basis throughout the term. So most people tend to kind of go to lecture, go to seminar, get their notes, file them in a binder, and then go on with the week. Right? So what we recommend is you build in weekly review every week for each course. It just helps you figure out what am I not getting, where are the gaps in my knowledge, and also stay on top of all of this stuff that you're learning, so that when it comes to exam time, you're reviewing as you go along and you don't cram everything into like a few days before the exam. But come and talk to us, because we can help you build study plans for the term and teach you all kinds of cool ways to study the type of material. One of the cool ways that we recommend is a study chart, and you can see here study charts. They're just basically tables that you put different headings at the tops of the columns, and then do this every week. What was the concept we studied today in political, right? This week in political studies. Who was the key theorist attached to that concept, kind of thing? What were the main ideas? What were the key terms? And you keep these kind of like a running tally of these each week, and they're a great tool when it comes to exam time. You've got them all organized, and you don't have to cram everything. Time management skills, and I only have 10 minutes, and we started a little bit late, so I'm trying to. I don't normally speak this fast. Trying to get through everything. Again, how to thrive. You got to stay on top of things. Plan, but do a 24/7 schedule for the week, and plan in there. Not just for your weekly readings and labs and seminars and lectures, but also for when am I going to review? When am I going to do my studying? And that type of thing. And if you're doing a lot of group work, that's going to be a whole nother piece. Come bring your group to Academic Skills Instructor, and we'll help you manage all of that wonderful group work that you're going to end up doing. And again, I don't want to spend too much more time, but we can help. You're going to be doing a lot of research. Come and talk to Academic Skills. We can help you find scholarly sources. I don't want to tell you how many students come in and say, I can't find anything. There's nothing on this topic. And then you just go, okay, sit down. Let's think some subject terms. Let's go back in. I'll show you a couple of tricks. We find 50 articles, okay? So you're running into that. Come and see us. Also the library. They're wonderful for helping with that stuff. And of course, we can help with any of that writing skills that you want to build on. You're coming here with great writing skills, but we can help you kind of fine-tune them, get them sort of little, notch up university level. Okay, phew. I ran through all of that so quickly, but those are our thoughts on how to survive and thrive in the social sciences. Are there any quick questions about any of that? One down here? Oh, that's such a great idea. Why is there not a slide up here?
I don't know. I was going to just say it, but that was great.
Yeah, so you find an Academic Skills Instructor in every college office. So just down the hall is Marisha in Zosky. I'm in Champlain. Erin is in the OC college office. We have Sue down at Trail and Natalie over at LEC. And we also have a new ESL Academic Skills Instructor as well. So
you can book your appointments through the Student Experience portal. So trentu.ca/SEP, but you can also walk into a college office and they will help you.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
So it doesn't have to be our college office?
Nope, you can go to any college office. You don't have, if you're an OC student, you can go to Champlain, Zosky, anywhere. Yeah, great questions.
You got another one here.
Are there like certain hours?
Yes, it's right now we're just daytime hours, so 9 till like our last appointment will be 3 most days. Yeah, and they're 45 minutes long, totally free. confidential, we're very welcoming, friendly, down-to-earth people. We're never gonna judge you or think that, you're not a strong student. Just because
Strong
you're
students go all the time, actually.
And
Jackie.
strong
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jonathan being one of them, yes, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
strong students, and everybody is welcome. It's open to any trend student. Yeah. Yes, Jonathan.
The typical assignments in my Indigenous Studies courses and theory courses consist of reflective or research paper, presentations, treaty negotiation scenario, and doing some research that meets the community research center.
Yeah, that's a good point. And actually, all of you are going to be taking an Indigenous Studies course as part of your degree, which we think is really valuable and important. So, to Jonathan's point, you will be writing reflection papers often in those classes. And you're in the next hour, 2 of the instructors that'll be here are in Indigenous Studies and Indigenous Environmental.
Yeah.
So, we'll give you a good idea of that. Yeah.
That's a great point.
To what extent can academic skills help you? Because I know there was a piece on Blackboard about academic integrity. So how far are you able to go with
Yeah,
getting help?
that's absolutely a great question. So it's never going to be my work. So what I'm going to do when you bring your work, whether that's in person or we talk over Zoom or you email me an assignment to review, I'm going to point out things that I'm noticing in your writing. And then sometimes I may show you how, let's say, how do we make this passive voice into more active voice sentence, or how do we create some cohesion and flow in your paragraphs? And you're going to do the work. So we're going to help you with any aspect of it, not just can't write your paper for you. But also, that's a great point, is citations, documentation, avoiding plagiarism we can teach you how to paraphrase properly. So, it's kind of like your one-stop shop for all of that, yeah.
Yeah, so it's more like suggestions rather than, oh, write this, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Now, I'm going to say, it's hard in an online, if you email me your paper, I have to sometimes just cross out some words and write it, but it doesn't count. It's instructional. We have to be careful though. It's a great point, to not rewrite. And sometimes I'll say, for example, you could say this, or what about a different word? And then, I'll write, this is just a suggestion. Don't.
But it's a great,
It's hard.
It's a great point, because
Yeah.
part of the key is, Susan might say, in the first paragraph, I'm seeing you do this.
Mhm.
She's not going to go through the whole paper and find every time you did it.
No.
So if you're doing a lot of, comma splices, and she catches one, she's going to tell you that.
Yeah.
But you're going to have to look for them.
Yeah.
She can't edit the whole paper. So that's where does that make sense? It's
Yeah,
a
so
great
we say
question.
we're not an editing service, and we'll point out, we'll go through a couple of pages of the paper, and then we'll point out key things, and then we'll say, here's the resources, we give you lots of resources, but it's great to come in person if you can sometimes, because it's a lot easier to to kind of demonstrate and get away from that, yeah.
Are there certain advisors that we should go to for certain things? Are there some that know specific courses better than others, or is it just general?
You'll start to learn that as you just go to anyone for now. We each have, I have a background in social sciences for sure. Marisha is a biology prof, so you do, but honestly, I can tell you how to write a lab report. I talk to grad students all the time, so it's not we can't help. Any one of us can help.
There is a math-specific academic skills instructor that works mostly online and part-time. She's housed in Zosky, and she works a couple of evening hours, but you'll find her on the student experience portal as well. And then again, watch for sometimes there's group sessions or workshops with our academic skills instructors. So I'm gonna hold that thought and turn it over to Jen to talk a little bit about advising. But you can ask some questions at the break as well. And as Susan said, go into a college and ask questions, and it's a really good resource. So thank you, Susan. And I'm going to give it to
Hi everyone, my name is Jennifer Walsh Hopkins. I am an academic advisor for East Bank. Although, much like Susan was saying, you can go and see any academic advisor. Again, you book us on the student experience portal. You can also go into the college office, and our student staff can also help you book. We like to say, if you can go and see the college advisor of your college or of your bank, That way you can build a relationship with us over the next 4, 5, 6, however long, many years you're here. But you can certainly go and see any of us. So hopefully I'll be chatting with many of you soon. So academic advising, our goal is really to be partners with you in kind of guiding your way through your education. So one of the first things to chat about is majors. When we say majors, does everybody kind of have an idea of what that is? Yeah, so you need a major to have a degree. So most of you, 99% of you probably are going to have a major unless you're in our Bachelor of Arts and Science, where that could be a little bit different. And so this is the primary area of focus for your study. I graduated Trent with a BBA, so my primary area was business. 30% of students enter university without a declared major, which I think is awesome. I came into university with a very clear idea of what I wanted to do, and I went through with that pathway, almost I think to a fault. I wish I had explored, I wish I had been a little bit more open in my studies, because I was very focused on what I wanted to do, and I am not directly working in that pathway that I thought I was going into. And so if you come in without kind of a really concrete idea, I think that's awesome. So like, rest assured that you're in the perfect place for that. So 75% of students who enter university with a declared major at some point change their major. So you're in good company if you change your mind. The goal of first year, especially the goal of this first week and these first couple of weeks, is for you to kind of figure out what you're into. Some of you may have came with some expectations from family members, parents, even kind of who you were in high school. And that's going to change, and you might find yourself on a completely different pathway, and that's okay. And then finally, students who declare their major after taking some exploring or change to a new kind of declared major after exploring tend to graduate with that major. So when you allow yourself to explore and to kind of follow tangents and interests, you're going to find yourself in a very, very satisfying place academically. So how do you choose a major that is a good fit? Start thinking about how some of your interests or courses are similar or different. And how that plays into you. You can also, like, the exploring part is learning about the different things that are out there. I know when I was in high school, this is probably not going to mean a lot for many of you, but the curriculum that you're all on, I was year number 2 of that curriculum change, so it was called new curriculum. And we had, very standard things. There was math, there was science, there was, I can't even remember anymore, the social sciences, all that. You're kind of introduced to broad ranging things. And in university, your first year is going to start out fairly broad, but you start to get into the small minutia of these topics. And so take that time to explore and follow kind of what interests you about this week of study, and start looking to see if there are courses in the upper years that focus more heavily on that. And that's where you're going to find a very satisfying major in those options. Yeah. Skills, think about kind of where you want to go and the skills that you want to learn as well. One thing that I didn't love doing was writing kind of like big, long papers. I ended up in a degree where you kind of end up doing that. But I really like the ability to kind of be able to hone in on that skill, because writing is so important. It's what we do, in kind of all of our lives. And so really being able to focus on that and kind of going back to academic skills, that was one of the areas that I used academic skills for when I was here as well. So focus in on some of those areas that you think might also be helpful for you in your career, and follow majors that will help you develop those areas. Okay, so now we're going to talk about kind of putting together your major, or putting together your degree. So everyone's going to have a major. You're going to be declared major in something. And then you may be filling the rest of your degree with electives. Now, in the past kind of 2-3 months when you were selecting courses, and has everyone heard the term electives before? That's a pretty common term. And did everyone kind of wonder, where do I find the electives? I know what my major wants, where are these elusive electives? So electives are essentially anything that's not in your degree. So what is a required course for you could be an elective for somebody else. So, for example, we have a Bachelor of Indigenous Studies, single major honors program. you've got your required courses there. Anything that falls out of that, out of Indigenous Studies, is going to be determined an elective course. So when you think of your major, anything outside is an elective. So like I said, I did a BBA, Business Administration. I took a bunch of psych courses as my electives. And then, okay, so the next option we have is a joint major. So if you're a joint major student, you have two majors. You're going to notice that the joint majors are slightly reduced in kind of course content for each, but together make up kind of a larger total than if you were to take a single major. So for example here, you're going to see, can everyone see, sorry? So you've got, out of the 20 credits, you're going to take 7 credits here, so out of political studies, and 7.5 out of sociology. And then the rest is going to be elective-based courses. Now sometimes you're also going to take more courses within your major than is like explicitly required in the academic calendar, and I should reference, all this information is coming directly from the academic calendar, so you should be referring to that quite often as you progress through your degree. But yeah, so these are your focuses. You're going to take probably some more out of those main interest areas, and then courses again outside of your major. You could also have a major, a minor, and then some elective courses. Minors are like a smaller major. You do not need to have a minor to graduate with a degree, but you can. So if you find yourself, say, super interested in international development studies, but also taking a number of courses of economics, go check out to see what the economics minor is and see if you can put together kind of just a little bit more information on your degree and on your transcript, so that when you're applying to jobs, when you're applying to grad schools, it very easily indicates to those people looking at your credentials that you have a focus area in, say, kind of something else other than your major, so your main degree component. I did not have a minor in my degree, but some of my colleagues did. So specialization, so a major, again, specialization is within your degree. So not all of the majors or degree programs at Trent have specialization options, but many do. So for example, the Bachelor of Business Administration has many specializations, accounting being one of them. So you follow along your total degree requirements, but within the degree requirements, you are going to tailor some of what you take up here, because you can see how this is, say, a little bit more broad. So this 3 admin credits at the 3,000 level in addition to the above. That's a little bit more, like, you got more choice in those. So you can see here, there's a bunch of 3,000 level courses in here. So by doing your specialization, you are also working towards your major. Which reminds me that I did not say one thing. When you're doing a joint major, one course cannot satisfy requirements within both joint majors. So sometimes our courses are like owned by 2 different degree programs. So you kind of have to choose where different courses are going to go. So say you took an Indigenous Studies and business course, and it's required for, say, your joint major in business and Indigenous Studies. You've got to decide which one it's going to go under so that you satisfy the other requirement that it could have done. But specializations can go up into your degree, minors. I don't think you ever would have that real crossover. Yeah.
It gets confusing, but the advisors help you through this.
Yeah. So the curriculum is designed by the departments. These are experts in their field. They have goals of what they want a degree from Trent to walk away with. So that's kind of designed by the university part. But there's a lot of freedom within them so that you get to tailor it how you want to do and what you want to focus on. There's some other university requirements that you have to remember. So within your degree, you do need to follow your program requirements found in the calendar. You will also find university requirements also found in the academic calendar. So one is 3 credits in different majors at 60%. You can have a maximum amount of 7.0 credits at the 1,000 level count towards your degree. You can take as many 1,000 level courses as you want, but only 7 credits are going to count towards your degree. Everyone has to do an Indigenous course requirement, which I desperately wish was a requirement when I was a student, because I really feel that I missed out on such a great learning opportunity here at Trent because I didn't take an Indigenous course. So this is a really great opportunity. And then depending on the degree, there are maximum amount of courses that you can take within your degree. So we really want you to be exploring outside of that kind of major interest so that you do get exposed to those potential different pathways. Some degrees require math requirements. Some degrees require that you take, like some science degrees require that you take specifically some arts or some humanities-based courses, that type of thing. So also pay attention to the university requirements. The advising website has a lot of really great resources that you can access, including a DIY degree check. So it actually queues you up to make sure that you're considering the university requirements as well as your program requirements. So the education is more than the sum of its parts, which maybe I was thinking of it because of these slides, but when Susan was talking about the verbiage or the language that you learn within your degree, synergy was the first thing that I thought of, because I feel like in business we talk a lot about synergy, which this is essentially what synergy is. It's things come together and make more than the two parts. So exploring new ways of thinking and experiencing the world. These are things that you're going to get from your university degree. Understanding that exploration is not a linear process. I have a degree and a master's degree in one area, and then a master's degree in another area, which has led me into this area, which also made me realize that I bypassed opportunities when I was doing my undergraduate degree that could have led me in a more linear process. So just know that it's okay that things kind of go all around. You'll all kind of get to where you're meant to be. Making connections across your curriculum. So when you're taking courses outside of your degree and realizing how those can impact and play back and come in to support, like you're gonna write some really neat papers and do some really kind of, I don't know, just have neat conversations as well. And then connect to why you are learning. Like, why are you here? What do you want to do? For some of you, you want to get a great job and make a lot of money. That's great. You need to know why. Some of you really want to have an impact. Some of you want to solve a family issue. Some of you want to solve a worldwide issue. You know, these are things that you're going to think about, and making sure that you kind of understand your why is going to help in your driving force. And I'll cue on to careers, but one of the things is at academic advising, we're here to have a conversation with you. Some of you are going to get into some issues that we can kind of help get you out of, but sometimes you're going to want to have a conversation of like, where do I want to go? Like more philosophical and that type of thing. And all of those types of things are the types of conversations that we can be having in academic advising. So if you make an appointment with us, we'd love to see you all. Again, it doesn't have to be a, oh no, I'm in trouble. It can be an, oh no, I'm in trouble appointment. But it can also be like a, I want to plan for the future and let's talk about it. So, okay, so now we're going to move on to careers.
Hi, I'm Mary. I'm the career counselor at CareerSpace, and we're really happy to be here today.
And my name is Chloe Dublin. I'm a career resource assistant working in CareerSpace as well.
Okay, and I just want to say it's really great to follow, well, both of my colleagues here, but academic advising and careers overlap so much, right, Jen? We tend to refer students back and forth because some of the things that Jen was talking about, you know, finding your why, right? What is meaningful for you at school and then after? Those questions overlap with your degree and with your career. And I loved, you used the word explore twice in one slide. It's probably our favorite word at CareerSpace because during the 4 years that you're here, many students are still exploring career possibilities and options, and we want to say that's okay. It's also okay if you're a super planful person and you know exactly what you want to do. That's great, right? We love the goal setting and all of that, but we also know that experiences along the way can maybe shift some of those ideas because of someone you meet, a class you take, a summer job you have. So if that's the case, you have a lot in common with most young people. I think it was Statistics Canada did a survey, and again, very similar to changing degrees, right? The idea of Changing career ideas is very common. So Statistics Canada surveyed 25-year-olds, and 83% had changed their career goal from the time they were 17, right? Just because of trying things out, learning new skills that you have, learning new interests, and finding out about new possibilities and opportunities that are out there. And so to help with that, some of that is just really trying things out. We will talk about getting experiences and how that can help in this exploration process. But we also have some tools and resources. All career people love resources. So on my Trent, you can find some resources that can help you with your, like do some assessments, some quizzes that look at personality, look at skills, and other things, and offer you some suggestions there. We have career cruising, which some of you may know, and type focus that looks at personality and skills.
Sure. Yeah. On our website, this is one of my favorite resources that we had. I used it a ton as a student. I took sociology here, so I really wanted to know what can I do with my degree. But this is where you can find some skills that you will develop throughout your courses. These are things that you can add onto your resume at the end of your degree or when you're applying for jobs. It also has some sample job titles or sample careers that you can look for. So when you're looking for a job, these are some things that you can enter in. It has professional associations. So for example, if you are a social work student, it talks about the professional associations that you can join, or psychology or business. There's also some work search links there. So each degree has what can I do with my degree on our website, and then you can find all of your targeted resources there. And they will also be in print throughout the semester. So I really love this chart. It's about the skills that are in demand currently through the Workforce Development Board, so a local employment organization in our area. The top skill that they're looking for is problem-solving skills and analytical or quantitative skills, which all of you in social sciences are going to develop these skills. No matter what program you're in, these are skills that you will be with, as well as ability to work in a team. So we talked earlier about a lot of group work, case studies, things that you're going to do in your classes. You're going to be able to develop all of these skills. And it's okay if you feel like you don't have them right now. Every day I meet with students that come in and they say, but I don't have any skills. I'm not employable. I don't know what to write on my resume. You have skills. It's just learning how to articulate yourself in a way that employers are looking for, so you can come to career space and we can help you with that.
And this is employers saying this, so I think it's really important. Sometimes, you know, we're not sure. Well, as Chloe, you said it really well, right? What are my skills? And the things you're working so hard on here, everything that you've talked about, employers know those are really valuable. And sometimes it's just about having the confidence in your skills and being able to talk about them to other people.
I would just add too that a lot of people say, well, I picked business because I want to go into business. It's like, that's great, but like you could go into business without a business degree, and businesses don't need you to have one kind of degree, they need the skill set. So think about that as well when you're thinking about your major, because I hear that a lot too.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, and there's so many stories like that, right, Melanie? We can tell you that, you know, a student from sociology and their summer job is working on the social media here, and before you know it, they are a very accomplished marketing person, and absolutely they could get into that area.
We talked a lot about getting experience, and the best way to get experience is to go out and get experience. So some of the ways that you can do that is by joining clubs and groups. Clubs and Groups Day is going to be on the Vada Podium on September 13th from 10 to 2. The Vada Podium is when you walk across the bridge on the other side. That's where you'll hang out. You'll be able to see lots of different clubs. There's academic clubs, so every department has a club that's connected to their department. I took sociology, so I was part of TASC, which is the Trent University Sociology Collective. They run things like a student symposium, Bob Ross paint nights, so you can come and de-stress. There's all sorts of fun academic and also social events through the department clubs, as well as clubs like the Sasquatch Club. You can find out what that is on the 13th if you're really interested.
You just want that on your
Yeah.
resume, right?
Yeah.
Everyone does, yeah.
And so these are really great ways to build some skills. So you could be a treasurer and build some accounting skills, working with money, managing a budget. You could be their marketing person. You can lead the club and gain some leadership skills, and at the same time you're also developing some more working with other people's skills. Communication, both written and verbal, those are pretty high skills in demand. These are great ways to get it.
You're also meeting people that can write reference letters for you when you graduate.
It's very true. So as part of this group at Trent, because it was such a small group and sociology is a pretty small department, the faculty were able to get to know me by name. And that led to me being able to do a research project with one of the faculty members, and for a full year I was a research assistant, and I was published in my 4th year. So that's a really cool opportunity that you get to gain if you get involved.
And sometimes it's a little bit of a soft way to try something new, you know, like not as big a commitment of time and so on, or it could be really, I think that Chloe was very busy with the test group during her time, but it's a way to, again, explore, right? Try it.
So another way to get experience is through volunteering, and we have our volunteer fair, which is on September 14th, that podium again, across the bridge, from 10 to 2. There, you'll be able to see some different people. So say if you're in psychology and you want to gain some direct support experience, you can volunteer with the Telecare Distress Center of Peterborough. They'll be in attendance there. Or you can just volunteer with, say, like the turtle conservation. You really like turtles. You can go out to their facility, help clean the tanks, take care of their animals. There's so many different opportunities there that you can have. As well as if you attend, I'll be at a table there. Come see me. If you attend and see me, you are entered in to win AirPods, which is pretty sweet. And there's also a downtown bingo happening. So come to the career space table for sure on the volunteer day, and we can help you set.
And I would say almost any degree there is some sort of an organization locally that would really value your time and your skills. I was thinking of our business students, like the Canada Revenue Agency every year trains students, it's often business students who are interested to help lower income individuals with their doing their income taxes come tax season, right? So a lot of really, like sometimes it's just fun and you're doing something you want to do to help out. Other times there'll be some really hard skills and a lot of training involved. And of course we really encourage you to, and this connects a lot with degree planning with academics, I think, right? But to see if in your program, really get to know the calendar, as Jen said, and your department's website, because there may be opportunities to get hands-on experience and get credit at the same time. So we really encourage students to look for those opportunities to build experience. It might be like business has a lot of opportunities, internships and placements. Some programs like archaeology will have field schools and anthropology. Well, anyone can study internationally in one of their years through, maybe you'll meet the study abroad people during orientation, but certainly international development studies has that built in to the program for those who want it, etc. And we have, I should mention, community-based research is, there are people in our area at CareerSpace who work in that, and I can't remember who said it, but you know, the idea of helping to be engaged in the community and solving real-world problems. This is something that community-based research does, where a community group comes, and it might be, could be the chief of police who says, we're not sure that our police force is representative of our community. We would love the skills of a social science student or a student to do a survey and a study and give us a report on that. So yeah, there's some really interesting projects about their website. And co-op is new this year for most programs. We'll talk very quickly about that in a sec.
One thing that CareerSpace can also help you with is finding paid or unpaid, paid work experience. So it could be part-time, it could be over the summer, you can book an appointment. So it's called a job search support appointment for on-campus, part-time or summer positions. And you can check out the student job board on the student experience portal, and I'll show you that in just a moment. or you can come to our career fairs, which happen in the winter semester. We also have tons of resources on our website on how to find a job, and you can follow us on social media. It's just Trent EU Career Space, and every Monday we feature hot jobs, which are posted on our job board, so it's a great way to find what's about to expire on the job board you might want to miss out on.
And finding good summer job, well, good, something interesting and in your field, I'm going to say keep your eyes open starting quite early. Sometimes it can be January and February where some of the jobs start getting posted. So following us on social media as well as everything Chloe just said, we'll try and always put out the word when we hear about a really good opportunity.
And if you're receiving financial assistance through OSAP, you're eligible for a Trent Work Study Program job. So you'll be able to see that tagged on our job portal, and you'll be able to apply to those. Just make sure you're reading the eligibility when you're applying, because some do have that there. And you should receive an email soon if you are TWSB eligible. So this is the student experience portal, and we also have the catalog here. So you'll go under student, and you'll be able to find the experiential catalog. This can show you what different experiential learning opportunities there are on campus or in our area. And this, if you're logged in as a student and you want to book an appointment with us or anybody who's presented here, you go to Peterborough Campus Bookings, and you'll be able to choose who you want to book with. At the top is the student job board, and here is the events calendar. So this is going to be a really handy thing to be able to navigate your way through and find out what's happening on campus and where to go.
And a lot of what we've talked about today under career resources, we have, what can I do with my degree, videos, quite a few resources, some of them new, some online career readiness modules, so try them out.
We have co-op in the social sciences, so I'm just going to talk about this briefly. If you're in co-op, it would be out of economics, Indigenous environmental studies, Indigenous studies, international development, political studies, sociology, and then business administration or business administration for accounting. If you have any questions about co-op, you can contact Sabrina, and her email is here. We also have her cards. And if you're in business administration or business administration accounting co-op, then you're going to contact Deb Earl.
I think that's us, and I guess we're just going to...
All right, well, let's give everyone a round of applause. Now we're gonna switch over to our panel with first-year instructors, faculty. We're going to talk a little bit about their disciplines, their experience, and your experiences of first year. But are there any questions for careers team before we switch to the faculty side?
We didn't cover it, sorry, the last slide here. It just says like we do resumes, cover letters, LinkedIn, job search strategies, career counseling as well.
Yeah. Did you have one? Yeah. Yeah, what we'll do is it'll take us about 5 minutes to bring our faculty in and set them up. So come up and ask, or you can always hit the hallway and ask a couple questions before the panel starts. That's a great idea. I would also say, when in doubt, go to the student experience portal, but also go into your college office and just ask how to connect with people. But yeah, if you guys are okay with it, yeah, so we'll let you ask a few questions and then we'll set our faculty piece up.
I'll just say for our area, we have an email, just careers@TrentU. You can also, if there's a question that you think is a bit specific to your situation, you can email us as well.
Trent is still small enough that we know each other and we know how to connect you, which is kind of one of the nicest things about our size. So any other questions before we switch over? Great, so I'm going to set up our faculty, and if you want to ask a quick question before these three head out, come on down, and I'm going to invite